Good evening. I would like to call this regular meeting of the Muscle Shoals City School Board of Education to order.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. And I present first the agenda for tonight's meeting for the board to consider.
Thank you, Dr. Holden. The superintendent has presented the agenda for recommendation for approval. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I move.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Hearing none, the agenda has been approved.
All right, I do have a little bit of correspondence to present tonight, both from the Alabama Association of School Boards. I have some certificates for some of our board members, certificates for those of you who have met the required training hours of the School Board Governance Improvement Act during the 21-22 academic year. And so these say, proudly presented to board member in recognition of successfully completing all of your training requirements for the year 21-22. So I have one for Ms. Allman, Dr. Davis, Dr. Rudolph is not here tonight, and Mr. Wood. And Mr. King, since you're so new to the board, you don't get one tonight, but that'll give you something to work toward for next year, I guess. And then also did get some information from the School Board Association, just reminding the boards about our fall district meetings. We have the one for District 8. That's Tuesday, September the 13th at 6 p.m. And that one will be held in Decatur. So you should be getting information about that soon. I'm sure. Is that one, Ms. Woolfolk, that we register them for? And you'll take care of that for the board. So just put that on your calendar, September 13th at 6 p.m. In Decatur. All right, next item, Dr. Davis, is the business action items, the consent agenda resolution. For the consent agenda, the board has been furnished with background material on each item, or as discussed the item at a previous meeting. Consent agenda items will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If a board member wants to discuss any item, it will be pulled from the consent agenda and voted on separately. Under item A, the consent agenda items consist of the minutes from the July 25th regular meeting, the minutes from the August 10th special meeting, bills and accounts for July, the July financial report, and those statements have been reconciled. We'll be rescheduling the regular meeting in October from October 24th to October the 13th. Also approval of the participation in the Title III Part A consortium, and then a change order for the track resurfacing project, which consisted of permitting fees. So with that, Dr. Davis, I recommend approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Holden. Board, the superintendent has recommended approval of the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Hearing none, the consent agenda has been approved.
All right. Under item B, I'm going to request tonight and recommend immediate board action on these three policy changes. We discussed these in the work session, and these have been disseminated to our stakeholder group for their review, and I've gotten no feedback on these. 2.5.3 under rules of order, 2.5.4 public participation, and 4.6.1 general complaints and grievances. And with that, Dr. Davis, I recommend approval of item B.
Thank you, Dr. Holden. Board, the superintendent has recommended approval of item B, immediate changes to the following board policies: 2.5.3 rules of order, 2.5.4 public participation, and 4.6.1 general complaints and grievances. Do I have a motion to approve these changes?
I move we approve them.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the recommendation for the board policy changes have been approved.
All right, thank you, Dr. Davis. The next policy is a standalone, item C, and you'll see that we are considering board policy 6.26, the parent opt-in for mental health services. Had good discussion during the work session about that, expecting some information from the State Board of Education likely in September. So there may be some adjustments that we need to make to this policy before you guys approve it, but I do want to recommend tonight that you consider Board Policy 6.26, which is a new policy under mental health services.
Thank you, Dr. Holden. The superintendent has recommended consideration of 6.26 related to the mental health services. Is there a motion to approve this recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion?
Madam President, I move that we table this recommendation to provide time for more consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. He has moved to table the recommendation. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor of tabling the recommendation, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, hearing none, consideration of approval has been tabled until a future meeting. This will allow time to disseminate the proposal to the stakeholder groups.
Very good, thank you. And now, Dr. Davis, I recommend item D, the personnel report as presented.
Thank you. Board, the superintendent has recommended approval of the personnel report. Do I have a motion to approve the personnel report as presented?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the personnel report.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the personnel report has been approved.
All right, for the benefit of the audience, the personnel report consists of the following. Under resignation, Alexa Johnson, system-wide EL aide. Desiree Knight, system-wide EL aide. Both of those are effective immediately. Catherine Katie Beth Toney, community ed, effective immediately. And Clint Sweeney, maintenance HVAC, effective September the 6th. Under transfer reassignments, Missy Cup from teacher of PE at the middle school to teacher of PE at McBride Elementary. No change in assignment days, effective August the 29th. Under employment, Angela Ewell, kindergarten teacher at Howell Grace Preschool. Under other part-time special appointments or supplemental assignments, Paul Ellis, retiree, temporary PE teacher at Muscle Shoals Middle School through December the 16th. Tanya Moore, retiree, part-time, no benefits. That's to do intervention at Webster Elementary for the 22-23 school year. Under community education extended day program, 2 additional aides for the 22-23 school year, Jackie Padron, Jada Padron. Saturday school staffing for the 22-23 school year, Jordan Crow, Colton Knox, Drew Smith, Holly Wade. For the basketball season assignments, various duties, such as clock keeper, gate worker, concessions, game announcer, and so forth, Ray Pfeiffer, Matt Jones, Zach Mize, Karen Posey, Karen Thigpen, Holly Wade, and Rebecca Henson. And then for information only, not for board action, Kelly Services staffing update, Janelle Lipscomb, middle school paraprofessional position. Rose Sullivan is filling a teacher's medical leave at the high school through approximately October the 27th. All right, that's the personnel report. Just a brief superintendent's report. Madam Vice President, I do want to congratulate the middle school band and Mr. C on being selected as one of only 2 junior high bands in Alabama to perform at the annual Alabama Music Educators Association Conference in Birmingham. So that was a great honor for them to be chosen. Looking forward to hearing them perform. Also, congratulations to the MSPR 8U Trojan All-Star Baseball team. You probably saw that on social media. Just had a really outstanding season, won the district state championship and the Alabama state championship and the Southwest Regional Championship. And all of that landed them in Florida back in late July, early August at the World Series. I think they finished 4th in the World Series behind the Bahamas. But these now 3rd grade Trojans and their coaches represented Muscle Shoals community and schools really well, and we appreciate them and congratulate them on that. Also want to congratulate Dr. Richard Templeton. I don't think he's here tonight, but he has been named director of the Alabama Association of 504 Coordinators with the class board of directors for this year. So we appreciate him applying for that position and then, of course, being selected. From our work-based learning teacher, Ms. Stone Cipher, she occasionally updates us on the work that our co-op, we now call it co-op again, students are doing in the world of work, and they have earned over $35,000 in wages since May, worked over 4,200 hours and with a total economic impact of $246,000. So we look forward to seeing the impact that they have this time next year or by the end of the school year. And also, we invite all of you, board members, and you guys that are out in the audience to McBride Elementary on Thursday, August the 25th from 5 to 6. There's going to be an unveiling of the newly transformed gifted education classroom. I know Ms. Osteen and her students have worked extremely hard in designing that learning space and are excited for you to see it. So I know she shared a little bit of that with us maybe 2 work sessions ago, but now we're going to get to put our eyes on it on August 25th. So that's Thursday night. So we're looking forward to see this vision become a reality. So with that, Dr. Davis, that's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Holden. Does anyone have any other items they wish to discuss? Hearing none, this concludes our agenda and the meeting is adjourned.